What is up, guys? Good morning, good morning. Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully you guys had a relaxing and safe weekend. So it's a new week, so let's get right to it, guys. First thing is first, let's just check the calendar for this week on Forex Factory. Just get right here. So not bad of a week. Today, clearly we don't really have a lot of news. It's just Canadian stuff going on. We got core retails tomorrow at 8:30, and then we have Fed chairman. Oh, I don't know if this is the actual chairman that got elected by Trump. He speaks tomorrow at 10, so that's pretty interesting. And then we got some other news on Thursday and Friday as well. So not bad of a week for us. So we now that have that idea. Clearly today we're going to be waiting till 9:30. Usually because first thing is first, you want to be finding a manipulation before trying to take a trade away from it, right? Based on your bias. Clearly, you don't want to be trading or taking a trade when it's in an accumulation phase, right? Because clearly you might get stopped out, during that time, because clearly the market is trying to accumulate orders on both ends of the market. So you want to be very precautious in that. Reason why that if there's no news at 8:30, I anticipate that 9:30 will be the one to make the manipulation, and then we can decide from after the 9:30, most likely 10 o'clock, that we can trade the continuation off of that, right? So let's get to our markup chart right here. As we see, clearly we're all at all-time highs except YM. So we want to anticipate if we are willing to go higher. Is YM willing to be willing to catch up here, right? The problem with this is that, let me just mark up these here. So we clearly know this solid line is the all-time high. Let me just mark it for NQ because that's my main indice that I like to trade. But honestly, I don't even have a favor. I actually like trading all of them. Honestly, the two that I trade is either YM or NQ. ES is just the middle asset. So between strength, it's either NQ or YM, right? Those are the ones I primarily switch against each other. So reasoning to why I trade those two mainly. So we know that we made all-time highs last week, guys, right? So we got to come into this week anticipating either a well, depending, because there's always news going on, right? The war with Iran is still going on. They haven't made a deal with the whole ceasefire thing, right? So this is the reason why we actually gapped down. So we got to be very precautious. Again, it's like any other day that we do. Anticipate as this a relevant high, right? Are we manipulating, or are we failing to manipulate to continue going higher, right? So that's the key right here, and which is why we'll figure that out based off the profiles, right? Mainly on the intraday profiles, right? Because on the daily you can see that we're stuck between Friday's range right now, right? We didn't come into a gap here, which I was more interested into seeing this tap into. There is this one, but I like this one here, right? Clearly we see multiple gaps being formed here. Even if you wanted to, this could even happen to within this range right here. We can definitely come, well, we don't have to come all the way to the 50% or below, but if it's still willing to continue going higher, at least this gap or this gap should be filled, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's showing strength, it could still stay within the within the premium side of its range, right? Tapping into one of these inefficiencies to continue going higher. So we don't have that at the moment, right? Same thing with NQ here, and then with YM we just have failure swings. So realistically, I would like to see this then, right? But again, since YM hasn't hit its all-time high, that's the reason why we have to figure out by the intraday profiles whether it's willing to continue going higher, or we're gonna reverse and possibly retrace, right? At the end of the day, it's still a reversal, right? A retracement, right? Because it will give the signatures off the highs to continue going lower, right? So let's go into our 7 hour, and this is where I would I was able to like really get my bias for the day. right? You can see how we opened up here and we just continue going higher with no manipulation, no swing point being formed on all of the three assets here, as you can clearly see. So just seeing this isn't really the most favorable for the long. Specifically looking on the 4 hour as well, we're just creating failure swings, right? We're coming into this gap right here, and you know what, I'm just gonna mark it right here. It's from the top to the open, right? So, well, you know what, I'll just mark it up to here. I like it like that. And honestly, I don't really care if it's from the open of this candle. I'm marking it here because I see the gap here, right? Gap from here, and then we closed here. So this is the range. This is the gap, right? So we have that right here, and then we have that with YM right here. So coming into this day, I really want to see it price go lower, because you could see how we're just generating low resistance liquidity at the downside, right? And on the upside, we're just taking out highs, right? So it's not for the bullish scenario, it doesn't look proper to me, right? For the sell scenario, it does look good, right? Again, depending on how the open opens, right, it could be very quick, it could be very sudden, where maybe YM goes weak, it'll hit this relevant low, and then we can get an SMT to continue going higher, right? That could happen, right? So that's the why I don't want to really be holding like a true bias until 9:30 opens, right? Because we get more information out of 9:30, right? At the end of the day, I don't see nothing at 8:30 for manipulation. Clearly, with 8:30, we're just expanding higher, right? So it's really that doesn't really give me anything. So for this is the reason why I'd rather wait for 9:30 to open, just because once we get that information, we can then get a better idea where price actually wants to go, right? So that's just yeah, that's basically it, right? We just need to wait for 9:30, because again, that would give us the information for us to get a better confirmation for where price wants to go. Again, I'm more with the shorts just because of the low resistance liquidity. At the open, we just gapped lower. Again, we didn't even come to previous day's low, so we're creating failure swings. Expanded higher, came down, really doing not much, right? I wouldn't consider this a relevant low, and we're just creating failure swings, right? And we're just continuing creeping up higher, right? So this could even be like a 3-pattern drive where it forms a high, takes out that high, and then the third one takes out that previous high, right? And then we can just flush lower, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it, right? And then we have this overall discount, right? This gap that we have. But for the first objective, I would say previous day's low is key, right? And then from there, anything is extra, right? You can see all these failure swings, right? This is a swing point right here, one from where we reversed and continue going higher. So I would personally like to see that being taken out of this gap. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be waiting for 9:30, guys. Really not much. Again, we just want to see that phase of price, right? So at the end of the day, we're just accumulating here, right? This could be just a consolidation, and this could be the manipulation, right? Manipulation, and then we have that distribution, right? So we're still early, guys, right? We don't even have to trade the reversal. But again, I'd personally, most likely, we're going to be waiting for 10 o'clock, right? Get a better idea on how this specific candle closes on this 4 hour, right? If we can close back within the range, even better. But if not, then we can figure out on the when the new 4 hour opens, if we can get a type of SMT, right, at these highs, and then we can see like what the 30-minute does, right? If we can like inverse this gap right here, right, and then start trading away from it. So that's what I'm looking at, guys, right now. Not too difficult. I want to play some music, but I don't know if I'm gonna get copyright. I searched up on YouTube some non-copyright music, but I have to test it out because I don't want it to be overpowering my voice, because I know my mic's not the best, right? In the future, guys, I will, maybe within the next couple of weeks, I'll definitely be buying more equipment, just a better mic, and some stuff just to make the stream look more professional. But it's all good. So we'll just you know what, I'm just gonna remove this because I wanna Oops. Okay, there we go. So this is my markup. This is my thing right here. I'm just gonna sign into my brokers right now while we wait, guys, because clearly, like I said, we're not doing anything until we get until 9:30 opens. So we're not trying to rush into anything, guys. It's also the last month, the last week of the month, guys. So it's remember, we're capping the monthly range for this candle. So just be precautious with that, guys. Also, nothing. We shouldn't be really engaging with our full risk as well. So just be precautious in that, okay? Did my thing lag? All right, check 1 2. Okay, we're good. We're not bad. We're good. All right, I'm just gonna go grab some coffee, guys. And I'll be right back. Just give me a second. All right. Just gonna call my girlfriend for a sec. Just give me a sec, guys. All right, we're back. Yeah, so that's basically what we're looking for, guys. Just for 9:30. I just wanted to start the stream a little earlier, just so we can break it down and everything. But that's basically what I'm looking, right? We're just want to focus on the faces of prices, right, guys? At the end of the day, we are just creating failure swings to the downside, right? We've already made this high. We already took in a high, right? So it's now jagged, right? So this becomes like I would consider a high resistance, right? For price to, it makes it more difficult for price to head to this high, right? Compared to the downside, right? With all these failure swings. So that's just something to keep in mind. At the end of the day, there is really no SMT, which I'm not trying to I'm not trying to force that on you guys, saying that I rely on SMT, like that's the first thing that I want to look for. Not really, right? At the end of the day, that's just a confluence. I'm mainly just trying to I just want to look at price, right? Of the universal model, ERL back to IRL, right? We are trading into an IRL, which is the gap, right? So we're anticipating IRL back to ERL, right? Phases of prices, accumulation, manipulation, and then the distribution higher. So where's that marker here? Here. So you could see how we're just trading like this, and then manipulation, the reversal, retracement, first stage distribution, that second stage, right? And then that big expansion lower, right? So what I'll be looking for is that right? It's what makes sense to me, no? I'm pretty sure, I'm hopefully that it makes sense to you guys, just looking at that, right? Because clearly we didn't hit no relevant low, right? Like other than just us doing like maybe just a price went lower here, had a manipulation, change in the state of delivery, and then we went higher, right? But we did not get that. So reason why I'm looking to the downside, and first objective would be just the opening of this candle right here. It's low here. So yeah, just waiting here, guys. Look, this is a beautiful. Honestly, for YM, this draw is very nice for YM here. As you can see here, we have a clear draw right here, all low resistance liquidity, right? Maybe we can get some news. Some news on the financial juice. Let's see. There's one on what happened 908. Senior Iran official. Positive efforts are underway by Pakistan to end the U.S. blockade. Ensures Iran's participation in talks. Okay. Not too bad. It's not bad. So okay.
$3 to $4 in a trade.
Oops. I'm gonna press that. Ooh, now what? What are we gonna do now here? I really wanna play some music, shit, but I don't want this to get copyrighted and it doesn't post, right? I mainly worry about you guys just having this. Also for me too, just to look back into it, right? But at this point, like, if I'm just doing everything I do every single day, it just gets stuck into my head. So. Okay, not bad. Yeah, let's just wait till 9:30, guys. I'm just gonna mute myself for now, and then we'll get right back to it once 9:30 comes up. All right. I just okay. We're just about to open for 9:30, so let's get right to it, guys. Let's see what the market wants to provide here, and let's just get a better idea on. Oh, not that. There we go. Here, I'm gonna actually mark the new day opening gap here. Right here. Right, it makes sense to have it like this. Oh, this is the open and closed here, so yeah, this one's good. Yeah, right here. Okay, I was just looking at this. There was a minor SMT right here, but again, just based off the delivery of this, after this SMT, I just didn't really like it, right? So, honestly, I wouldn't really consider this as a low of day, right? In all honesty, it's not something that I personally would consider. I would rather get this taken out and then go higher. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'd rather wait for 10 o'clock, the 4-hour candle, just to get a better idea on how this specific candle will close, right? So let's just stay on the 30-minute here. You can see YM is basically almost trading up to the top of its new week opening gap. So yeah, let's see what forms here, guys, at these highs, right? We're expanding higher at the open, so let's see if we can get some type of crack and correlation here to get our steps into a possible reversal, right? We did not manipulate lower, so something to keep in mind, where I feel like our bias for the short is just getting more and more accurate based off these criteria that we're looking at right now. So, but again, we're just gonna have to wait and see, right? YM just tapped the top of the gap right here. Let me see if I marked that properly as well here. Yeah. Right here is perfect. So let's just mark the first stage right here, right? We have a nice SMT here. All right. And of course, it's either with YM or and NQ, right? So that's just to keep, just to get you an idea, right? So now, personally, we don't have a 2-stage, which is something that you would want to see for a good reversal, right? So what we're gonna have to do is now wait for this candle closure, right, to see if we can form that C2, right? Which I think on the hourly as well, right? So see how all the time frames get start to align, right? Even if we can get a nice 4-hour C2, would be great to give us our bearish bias that we're looking for. But as of right now, we just have an SMT here, right? So again, we're just gonna have to wait for this closure here to get a better idea. Personally, I won't long, and I don't really want to long. Even if it goes higher, I just won't trade today. Simple as that, you know. Again, I'm more confident with the sells. I mean, yes, you can say that, oh, he's counter trending, right? It's just based off the intraday criteria, right? The profile in this specific day, on this specific daily candle. I don't really like the, like, let's compare this to Monday of last week. Even just looking at the 7-hour here. Notice how we did the same thing that we're doing right now, but the difference is, look what it did. It took out a relevant low. 8 o'clock was that expansion back to its previous day's high, or whatever the case may be, you know. Look, also an this was not an SMT right here. Yeah, there was no SMT, but again, it's just the criteria of it, right? I think there was a minor SMT right here. Yeah, there was. And then we expanded higher, right? But with this, see how there's no swing point? Like, yeah, we tapped into this gap, but let me just reset this here so we can all see it. I would personally want to see it take out some swing point, right? Even on the 4 hour too. I guess because we traded into the gap in like it's like IRL back to ERL, so there is still a possible chance that we can hit the all-time high here, right, and then get that reversal. Just personally from this point of view, I don't really have no entry to engage in this, so that's the reason why I would want to take the longs here. Especially because we have all this, man. You know, I look at this as a consolidation, right? And then now we're expanding away from it, right? Instead of manipulating it, forming an SMT at the lows and then continuing going higher, right? So whatever. We're just going to have to wait, guys, and just see. Just based off the closure on the 4 hour will give us even a better idea on where price wants to go. So this move that's happening right now doesn't faze me at all. It's all good. We're just being patient and just waiting. Again, it's the last week of the month, guys. So be precautious. Okay, so we're getting some type of reaction off this on the 30-minute here. You can see how it's not willing to continue going higher here, right? We're getting that good C2 closure. Even on the 5-minute, if you look, we're just engulfing these candles here, right? So yeah, like I said, 10 o'clock will give us a better idea, guys, on what we want to see happen. At the end of the day, I just don't like trading away from like a specific relevant low like that, especially if we didn't manipulate. Like again, this doesn't really give me a higher confluence that we're willing to go higher off this minor SMT, right? When you like go on the higher time frame, you just see this, right? Or even on the hourly. Well, the hourly gives us so. I would give it that, right? But again, you could see the closure on this hourly here. Look at that. It would even be better if we actually engulf this specific candle and close the potential gap that could form at the new hourly candle that's at 10 o'clock as well, right? Right, this is what I mean. We have to get a better idea, right? Because this could actually form a gap, and then we can trade into it to go higher, right? So that's the option too, right? So you want to be you want to keep that in mind, guys, especially if the other assets don't show a willingness to continue going lower, and we're willing to go higher. Then the trend is your friend, guys. Remember that. Let's look at the dollar quickly. Forgot about dollar. So we're still trading within this inefficiency here, within the higher time frame range on the monthly time frame. If we look at it here, right, we're within a range, right? We've been in a range, so we tapped into the high of it, and now we're coming back 50% within that range here. Looking at the daily time frame, you can see that we're sandwiched between this bullish and this SIBI right here, right? Price actually opened up today and came tapping into it because we created some failure swings at the gap, right? So I like the way that we took out that liquidity, and now from the hourly perspective, well, let's look at the 4 hour because it looks a little cleaner. See how we're respecting it now? We're closing back below this gap here. So C2, 3, 4, right? So we're anticipating that this candle will continue going lower here, right? Let's define it on the hourly time frame. We have this nice change in the state of delivery right here, and see how we're respecting these up close candles and closing below them. So this is actually really good. Let's see where we can actually target. On the 4 hour, really not much here, but on the hourly, we have this nice change in the state of delivery right here, from minute expansion with an expansion, right? And if this is a retracement and not a reversal, then this could be an ideal area of interest. But what I'll mark is this gap right here. We could also trade into the gap, so we'll see how it plays out, guys. Again, we are at a relevant low here as well on the dollar, so we want to see what it does here, if it's willing to close above or willing to continue going lower here, which will give us the idea for our for the indices here, right? Because if dollar continues going lower, then we'll most likely see the indices going higher here. So okay, I thought my camera was turned off, and that was just my OBS being minimized. Okay. Yeah, so let's just wait and see, because again, if you look at the 4 hour closure, the 4 hour candle right now, it doesn't look like it wants to go lower, right? Especially because especially if this candle closes like this, right? We are closing above a down close candle on the 4 hour, so that just gives us a better idea that we're not willing to go lower, right? So it's just letting price do its thing, guys. Let price do its thing. I'm just gonna stop my recording until I get an entry, so it's not too long, the video. Let me see if my stream's going on properly here. See if my stream's going on properly here. Alright, and it is, so not too bad. How do I, no. Okay, there we go. All right. me see if I can, that's exactly what I wanted to look at. Oh wow, I'm eligible for $400 in a payout. So that's not bad. Again, I'm up $900 guys on my funded. So as of right now, I'm trying to give it some wiggle room before I request a payout. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to just what I should do with it. Like again, I'm trying to grow my personal account too, but I can definitely do that on my own. I don't know if it's better if I just continue putting the profits into that account, so then I can grow it quicker, so then I can just try to trade my personal account only, or I should start paying my bills with it. That'd be pretty awesome to do. And then yeah, I gotta figure out, I'm gonna do my taxes this week, so I'm gonna talk to my my accountant to see what's the best solution for me in this. I'm actually grateful with God, guys. I've been given this great opportunity to do this, and I couldn't do it without him, so I'm just more than grateful. And again, I just want to do the same thing for you guys. That is the reason why I'm doing these live streams. I just really want to make sure that I can help whoever's watching these videos, because at the end of the day, this is just all raw, right? I'm not editing them or anything like that, right? This is all live with you guys. So again, you're just here to just join my journey to becoming a consistent, profitable trader, right? And that's all that matters, right? I'm not here to show you the fucking materialistic thing. Sorry for swearing. I'm not here to try to show you that you can make millions, because at the end of the day, who cares about the millions, right? If you can make a good amount of money to help you pay your expenses, basically leave your job and just stay in a just be consistent with that, then that's all that matters, right? Like, what I want the most is just being able to have time to be with my family more, being able to do things with them whenever I want to, right? And that's what matters the most, because time, guys, is something so precious that we cannot get back. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, guys, you know. That's the reason why I'm doing this, right? It's just to have my time back, time that I can use with with my parents, my girlfriend, my friends, right? And just to whoever who needs that extra assistance, right? Not even with trading, but with help, like with anything, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just want to be able to help people, right, in any way that I can. So something like I always ask, like, what would Jesus do, you know? So yeah. All right, so we just got about 10 minutes left for this new 4-hour closure. Yeah, right now it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Just YM looks really strong here, and it looks like we want to continue going higher, in all honesty, back to all-time high, which I most likely might try to trade YM here. We'll see how it goes. Right, we are creating a gap here, which is good. I want to see we do have an SMT as well here currently. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to mark this gap here. And let's see how we respect this gap on the 30-minute. Because if you start closing down, like, see how I was saying earlier, how if we start closing the gaps, see now there's no gap on the hourly as well for NQ, which gives us that, like I said, that more confluence for the short idea. Because if we fully close below this specific previous candle, then we can definitely see that C2 proper C2 closure, right? And then clearly NQ will be the weakest while YM is the strongest, and then maybe we can get a two-stage once we open up, take out that high, and then go lower, right? And then we'll have that two-stage SMT with the new 4-hour candle. So yeah, it's just about waiting, guys. It's literally about waiting. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm just gonna go use the washroom very quickly, so I'll be right back. Ooh-wee. All right, sorry about that. All right. Yeah, you can see clearly with the closures, guys. It's not looking like we're willing to continue going lower here. Let's just. It's good that, like I said, we wait for 10 o'clock to give us that better confirmation, you know. It's like $1. The dollar's failing to close above back that within the range. So I realistically we can even fade this SMT possibly. Yeah, just because with the way this candle looks right now, I would not want to be shorting this candle. Against this candle is what I mean, and against this 4-hour candle, right? Only thing is that we just don't have an SMT to trade away from, right? And that's what I just don't like trading. I just don't like taking trades like this with this. Like, I guess the only thing we're gonna mark is this hourly right here, right? And then again, with the phase of price, we have this change in the state of delivery right here. Right, we have the SMT right here. I should have done that first before doing the changes of the order block. And then we have this change in the state of delivery right here. Yeah, YMs is all the way over here as well. So a little tricky. Let's just wait and see if it's willing to continue going higher, guys. All right, we're about to open the new candle in 10 seconds, guys. Not sorry, in a second. Right now, I mean. All right, so let's look at it again on the 4-hour, right? Again, we have this nice change in the state of delivery, guys. Really showing us that price is willing to continue going higher. Again, YM looks like it's the strongest. Well, somewhat of the strongest because we took out that top of the gap here. Let me just remove this SMT. Now, onto the 30-minute, we do have a nice SMT right here. So an SMT fill, basically. Within this gap, there could even be a possible strength switch right here. If YM goes lower and then NQ holds this 50% of this candle to continue going higher back to previous day's high, that could be another option too. So let's just wait and see, guys, because yes, at the moment NQ was the weakest, but there could be a possible strength switch here. So we really want to be precautious with that. Let's just mark on ES as well, right? Because based on the candles, guys, shorts don't look good, right? I think we can all agree to that the shorts don't look good at all based off the closure on this 4 hour. This 7 hour looks like it wants to go higher back to the all-time high here, right? Hourly, we had a good closure. We closed we closed above the previous hourly candle, right? 30-minute, we didn't, but again, this could just be a retracement type of phase, right? So we wanna wait and see, guys, what it does. So let's just stay on our 3-minute, right? Since we were looking at the 3-minute, let's see where we form this nice SMT here, just to give us that idea that we're willing to go higher. Maybe another sweep. Like I said, I want to see this retrace into this gap, and then we can possibly get another SMT here. Oh, you can see the volatility just coming in right there. So the only way that I'll change my bias if we close below this gap here, right? And then we can trade the continuation. At the end, I don't know why I can't talk today. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, guys, you don't have to trade the top of the reversal, right? If anything, that is the hardest, right? Which I'd rather, majority of the time, I love trading the continuations. If you guys been watching my lives and my recaps, majority of them are after 10 o'clock, right? So just gotta wait and see, and really just patience, be patient. At the end of the day, this profile, we can say it's a classic protraction if it's willing to go higher right here. At the end of the day, we are forming gaps, we are displacing higher, we are changing the state of delivery off these higher time frame candles. So we just want to wait and see, right, on our entry criteria now, where we can enter, right? YM looks like shit right now. Like, look at this. Again, we can form that 2-stage, guys, still off this high here, right? So the shorts still could be valid, right? 10 o'clock could be the reverse, right? Because at the end of the day, we didn't manipulate at 8:30. 9:30 really didn't do much. So 10 o'clock could be the manipulation, right? And then 10:30 could be, we could just trade the continuation, right? Look at why I'm attacking that high here. And we didn't fill no gaps, so just looking at my stocks here for a sec, guys. Just give me a sec. So yeah, just patience, guys. Patience.
The Bible says two things will destroy your relationships faster than anything else. And when these two things are present, it says every evil thing follows. In James chapter 3, verse
8. Okay, let's just look at the 4 hour again. Yeah, with this 4 hour, see, we have the SMT still here, and then we could possibly get a 2-stage here. Again, the only way that we'd want to wait for is this closure below this gap here, if it fails to do so. Again, personally, I just would want to see, I was hoping that YM was going to come retrace into this gap, but it looks like we're not. That was just my coffee maker. I'm actually going to keep it on because I want to keep it warm, the coffee. Okay, NQ is now just creating a failure swing to the down. It's creating a failure swing, and it looks like we're trying to maybe attack this low here one more time. Again, guys, just being extra patient here, guys. Let price tell you where it wants to go, right? Not the other way around. You don't tell where price wants to go. That's how you burn yourself, okay? Again, the only way we will trade short is if we close back within this range, right? Even with this change in the state of delivery, we'll get a better idea on the hourly right here, right? Same idea, right? But the first step would be closing below this gap here, right? Because then that shows us that we're failing to respect these bullish inefficiencies, respecting them for us to continue going higher, right? And then from there we can trade against it to go back to these failure swings here, right? I was hoping to see YM retrace into this gap, even ES, right? Because I need to see some type of cracking correlation here for us to continue going higher. Honestly, I just don't like how YM is looking right now, right? Because this could be consolidation, right? Because we can now reverse off a consolidation, right? So we need to see an expansion of some sort to trade away from it. Right, as mentioned, we could even go lower here, form that, where was it? Yeah, form an SMT right here with these lows. And then NQ can be the strongest to go back higher here. Back to previous day's high. Right now you can see we're just consolidating, right? We're consolidating within this candle right here, right? Which you want to be careful, right? Because in a consolidation, you want to be watching over that 50%, right? We won't have that mark though. We'll just we want to wait and see what it does, right? See how YM is leaving these the failure swings here. See how we never tapped that previous 4 hour high, which is a good thing for the bullish side, right? Look at dollar retracing now. So we can mark this gap right here to see how we respect it. So let's see how the indices close. I want to see how NQ holds this gap. Again, I'm more concerned with NQ holding the gap. I want to see it hold the gap, right, for us to continue going higher. That's the only way I'll be able to trade it, right? Like I mentioned before, we can get that strength switch one more time with NQ and YM. Sorry, let me just record this. So yeah, we're within this gap right now, on this 30-minute gap right here, right? YM is leaving that failure swing at that previous 4-hour high, which we were anticipating if it took out that high and we were expanding lower, then we have that nice 2-stage cracking correlation, right? Well, then we can see NQ closing below the gap, and then we can trade that as the weakest to continue going lower back to these failure swings. But if NQ can hold this gap while YM takes out the gap here, we can get a nice strength switch right here, giving us that NQ can if it's willing to continue going higher, but we need to see that nice change in the state of delivery first. So leaving these failure swings, guys, isn't ideal for the short, right? And this is why you want to be waiting, right? Look at NQ right now in a consolidation, right? Same thing with YM, right? So we don't reverse off a consolidation, so you would need to see some type of expansion, which this could be the expansion here, right? Let's look at the 30-minute quickly again. Okay. So we would want to wait and see how this closes. Again, there is that SMT now, right here. We do have an SMT here. I was hoping that we can tap the gap before reversing, actually. But see how we're reacting off that now? While when YM took out that, this minor swing point. I'm not going to say it's a relevant low. I would want to see the gap being filled, I'll be honest with you. But then you would just wait for that change in the state of delivery as usual, right? No gap also. No. Let's look at the 5-minute. Okay, 5-minute looks a little better, I'm not going to lie. So we'll stay on the 5-minute here. I just don't like how it's much higher, right? On the 5-minute, it's a wick, and this is the actual down close candle, so I'd rather just keep it like that. Even if it does expand higher, we'll just wait for that retracement. But yeah, it would be ideal to see the gap being traded into, right? To give us that better, that good SMT fill within the previous candle.
Was technically bullish on
Let's
gold.
see who this guy is here streaming. What is he looking at? He's looking at gold. Good stuff. Sometimes I just want to have something on just to get myself distracted. At least music, you know. Okay, I'm just gonna go grab more coffee, guys. Audie, also, I forgot. Anyone who's happy 420. Any of you potheads out there, you know? Not really a smoker. Well, I was, but I smoke here. I don't really smoke a lot. I just take gummies. I'll take them maybe just during the weekend, you know, when I'm just relaxed and everything after a long week and a weekend as well. Honestly, these gummies that I've been taking are pretty fire still. I have a bit of a high tolerance, so I'll take like 4 to 5 of them, and like, sheesh, gets me nice, man. Gets me really nice. But yeah, happy 420, guys. Fuck. Sounds pretty childish me saying that, but who cares, you know? Okay, you can see how we're just, notice how we're creating these failure swings here. I'm really liking that. Only thing is, I just don't like how YM didn't tap into that gap. Like, it would make it very low probability for me. Again, I'm only gonna be risking. I'm only gonna be risking half of my risk for this week. As mentioned before, like I said, this is the last week of the month, guys. So I don't want to be. I just don't want to be taking stupid losses, right? And I want to be making sure that I'm managing my risk properly. Okay, look at NQ's reaction here. Not really ideal for this bullish move. Again, there is no 2-stage, so I don't want to be... Well, actually, there is. We have a PSP here. I just realized that right now. There is a PSP here. Yeah, it's just the candles. Like, I just don't want to... I don't want to be taking it because there is a PSP and a 2-stage. I need to see the candle closures, right? Realistically, I would want to see NQ at least close. I want this 30-minute to close below this then, to give me a better idea, right? Without this closure below, then I won't really take it just because it has a 2-stage cracking correlation, right? SMT with the PSP here, right? I'd rather wait. I'll hold off on that because it could go lower. Look, we have a nice change in the state here, right? Thing is that we just don't have that SMT, which YM looks like it's trying to engage that high, that previous 4-hour high. Yeah, even on the 15-minute, we don't really get a change in the state. So, again, we're just being patient, guys. We're just waiting. At the end of the day, we're waiting. Once we close below this gap, then we can reevaluate everything, and then we can see how we trade into it to continue going lower, right? Because again, we do have these failure swings, right? But also, I don't want to fade the higher time frame. So this is why it makes it's a little tricky. Right, so you want to wait for candle closures, especially higher time frames. So, which we're going to be waiting for a 30-minute. Right, so 10:30 will give us that confirmation, that true confirmation on what it wants to do. Look at the reaction here, guys. See. Right, there's still an SMT here. I would have been happier if YM actually took out that gap. Okay, we can refine our change in the state here to this one. Yeah, because now it's decoupled, right? You can see how NQ is going lower while YM is going higher, right? I said that a little too quick. sure I can download my T4. That's what I forgot. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna make a quick call. Just give me a second. Alright guys, you can see how we're getting some type of reaction here. I just don't like how we left that failure swing here. Pretty nasty, to be honest, still. Again, this is why we're saying risk half for this week, guys, because so right now this is looking like shit. And to trade away failure swings, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, we literally left it. That could have been another SMT here if we wanted to see that happen. Yeah. No, well, even forgetting the SMT, I'm just saying, like, in phase of price, taking out a relevant low here, a low, right, would have been ideal before reversing. Leaving that just makes it even more sketchier. Especially because look at ES. Look at all these failure swings from when? From 7:30. Look at all of that. Right? This makes it even more sketchier where we could still see that two-stage crack at the highs and then another rejection lower. So, yeah, like I said, guys, we're being extra precautious today because it's the last week of the month, so we just want to be careful. So you see this change in the state that we have on NQ right now. Again, just very ideal though. I don't want to be. I wouldn't take this at all. This trade would not be for me, in all honesty. Because we're leaving failure swings right now. Everything's leaving failure swings. There's nothing really to engage because we never took out a swing low, right? So this I wouldn't consider this a protected swing at all. To put my stop loss here and to trade against it. So let's just wait and see. I'm looking at the 4-hour high, especially on ES. ES looks like it's about to take it. I think we can even get another strength switch where YM becomes weaker now. Who knows? Because YM doesn't look like it's trying to go higher now. See, look at the candle closures on the 5-minute here. You can see how it's disrespecting. It's still respecting that down close candle, and it's 50% of it. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. And we still have that gap that's hasn't been engaged on YM, so it's a good idea. It's a good area to attack, I would say, if you were looking for the short here. Yeah, let's just wait and see here. Like a pimple here, fuck. See how we're like disrespecting that change in the state? Reason why I never wanted to engage in that. Minor S&T here, but sheesh, I would want to just see this being taken out then, right? Like, oh, it just makes it so difficult trying to try to get away from these. Like, this is still considered a failure swing, right? So again, we just need to be extra patient, guys. Like I said, candle closures is what gives us the better confirmation, right? Not these minor changes in state of deliveries on the entry time frames, because these are just your entry time frames. There's no you need the intermediate time frame to give you that confluence, right, for you to be able to take that entry that criteria in your entry time frame. Now, is this ideal to trade against this? Like, there is a minor SMT here, and the next 30-minute candle's about to open as well. So you know what? Let's just mark this candle right here. So now we're forming a new gap, right, on YM. So at the moment, it's still not really ideal to look for shorts here. Again, we don't even have that change in the state of delivery right here, right? So it's very difficult to try to short this here, guys. I'll be honest, it's hard right now at the moment to decide whether it's going lower or higher. Again, we're leaving all these failure swings here, right? Everything here. So again, we can get that possible SMT here at the lows, right? NQ taking out these relative equal lows here. So let's see how we react off this. Okay, NQ just took out that gap. So let's see how we get a reaction off this right now. YM is now looking like it's following up with NQ on this gap here. But again, let's just see how we react off this. Because now we have that SMT here. Sorry. For to give us that that catch up with YM. Because clearly, if we are willing to go higher, I would like to ideally trade YM because YM is the catch up. It's a lagging asset towards the all-time high. You can see that reaction off that NQ right here, right? So that's ideal right here. Yeah, it's nuts too for the sell side that we're leaving all these failure swings here. So we could even trade into this gap here. Where's that 30-minute that we mentioned? It's this one right here, which actually NQ already took, so. They're coming mails. Okay, YMs are just about to engage into that 30-minute here. Yeah, as of right now, guys, you can see the price action. It looks pretty shit right now. Very shit. So we're not doing anything yet, guys. Nothing is. We haven't touched any buttons at all, so we're just waiting. We have a change in the state of delivery. I just don't like just trading away from failure swing, guys. It's just not ideal, right? Which is why I'm more convicted into the buy side, because we are taking liquidity from the downside, right? Not from the upside. So yeah, it could go lower, but we could still reject and then close back above, right? So at the end of the day, look at the higher time frame closures, right? On the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, right? We're just coming back into a discount from this specific range, right? Clearly, YM is showing more strength here because we're above it. NQ is clearly below its range, below the 50% of its within this 30-minute range. So again, we still have an SMT here within this gap. So let's see how we can hold it off here. I'm just gonna mark this out quickly, just to have the line there, just in case we do tap into it, which it looks like it is. It looks like it's gonna tap it. Yeah, we just tapped into it. So really, there is still an SMT here. There is still an SMT, clearly, because we have these candles right here. So we could still get a reaction off this, guys. There is still a higher time frame SMT right here. So if we can start closing back above these gaps here, then we can most likely continue going higher, specifically on YM. This could even be an entry for 11 o'clock, you know, honestly. Oh, yeah. Hey Siri, call Mom Mobile. Sorry guys, just give me one more second.
Calling mom.
Sorry guys, just making sure I get everything ready for my taxes tomorrow. To do my taxes. Okay, so let's see if we can get this reaction off here, guys. Let's start by looking at how we can close above these gaps here. Let me see if we can get it on the 5-minute here. So now I gotta open my email. Oh, this is so annoying with this stupid day for shit. Fuck. Sorry guys, just give me a second here. Well, we're still waiting, guys, so nothing to be worried about here. Again, you can see how the choppiness happened here. Is my mail gonna open up or what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're looking like it's trying to come into a deeper retracement here, guys. Okay, let's see if we can sign that now. There we go. Send this to myself. Perfect. All right, guys, we're still waiting, guys. It's just you can see it makes it more choppier on the downside to sell because we're taking out these liquidity areas, right? Compared to us taking the highs out and having that clear low resistance run downwards, right? Again, we're leaving these failure swings and trying to trade away from these failure swings isn't ideal for me. Again, it could still be valid. I just personally don't like the way we left it like that. Especially because we didn't even attack the high. We're just going into a deeper retracement here. This could even be a two-stage rate, a SMT right here within these lows. We're 6 o'clock. Yeah, so this is the current 4-hour low right here. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep that gap still open. Yeah, I wouldn't really like trading this, to be honest. So we can even try to come into here. See, we're engaging that 4-hour order block as well. I'm gonna just remove this. Here, let me mark this as well here. We'll stick it to the 5-minute for now. Yeah, because if we can close back within this range here, guys, and form a change in the state, and then clearly you can see us seeing this playing out to the upside. Again, there is clearly an SMT here, right here, with NQ and YM. YM still showing strength, and it's clearly above its range that we formed, and NQ's in a deeper discount here. Oh wow, Daddy Yankee went into that. Oh no, that's J Balvin. Oh yeah, looking like we're expanding much lower, guys, here. Again, I wasn't confident with the sell side, guys, just based off these closures. It did not look good at all. So I just don't want to be trading away from failure swings, and if I miss the trade, guys, like I said, I'm perfectly fine with it. See, you know how this is all jagged right here, guys? This doesn't give us that confluence. It doesn't help us with the short, right? Because now it's difficult to try to short this with all it being like, with it taking out the lows and then trying to close back with it within its range, right? No, while we see all these failure swings, right? So it gives us, you want it to be trading the low resistance side of the market, right? Not the high resistance, because you can see how slow it goes for the shorts, right? See these deeper retracements back into the range, right? As mentioned, we still have this SMT here. We do have a 2-stage right here within this candle. Let's look at the 5-minute. Okay. Let's remove that. So we're getting a nice change in the state here with YM. Oops. Ideally, you would want to see the weakest trying to reverse, right? Let's see if we have a gap here. We don't, but we do have this gap here. Very minor one. Look at that reaction too. See how we're reacting right now? So there's a possible chance that we can still engage this actually. Let's give this a shot because now we have a 2-stage right here with NQ here. And then we can definitely start attacking these failure swings here. But we're only going to be risking $100, right? At the end of the day, that's all we want to be engaging for this week. So let's just see how we can participate in this here. We'll take the order right here actually. We'll wait for the closure. Let's see how the closure goes. See the reaction on NQ? Not ideal, I'll be honest. 5-minute we had a good closure actually. A real good closure off this inversion here. It's just not showing the good reaction on the other assets, so it makes it even more difficult to try to even short it, to buy this while the other assets are not following and are not in sync. Let's look at dollar. Dollar's actually showing rejection here, which is good. Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn. Oh. Oh. What the fuck happened? There had to have been something going on here. $10.19. Yo, what the helly? What the helly? Oh my gosh. Jeez, and oh buddy, imagine if I entered that. Oh shit. Oh buddy, this is what I mean. Let's see, 1019. Israel didn't talk me into war with Iran. Okay, it says US-Iran talks are planned for Wednesday in Pakistan. Trump on 10/19. Iran could have prosperous future with new leaders. Results in Iran will be amazing. Israel didn't talk to me. Okay, yeah. Trump, when asked if Iran is doing talks, I don't know. Iran is supposed to be at the talks. Trump, if the ceasefire expires tomorrow, then lots of bombs start going off. At 10:03. That happened at 10:03. What a reaction, though. It's 10:52. Bumbaclut. Holy shit. What a reaction, though. Damn. Damn. Okay. We can clearly now see that, holy shit, I hope everyone was okay with that. See how we took out this relevant low now? We clearly have a good SMT here. Damn, that was hefty though. Very hefty. Trump, highly unlikely I'll extend ceasefire with Iran. Oh shit. That was it right there. Yeah, my thing's delayed, but that was at 10:52. Which was, yeah, right now. Well, a minute ago. So, just deeper retracements, guys. Deeper retracements. That's all I'm looking at it as this right now. Right? We took out some good liquidity here. All this liquidity here. So that's actually not bad at all. I'll be honest with you. Right? We have this SMT right here. Oh, I'm not saying that's... I'm just marking the SMT, right? All right? We have a good closure right here, back in the range. Let's see if we can get that change in the state of delivery as we were talking about. Jeez. Wow. See, that's manipulation right there, guys. That's what we want to see, right? And then now we want to see that reaction. We want to see this. We want to see it pick up, right? Because now we did the damage. The manipulation has been done. Right? So now we want to see a reaction happen here. Holy shit, that was crazy though. Let's look at dollar. Let's see how that reacted. Okay. Crazy reaction. Holy shit. In a way, I'm just grateful I didn't enter that. I was hesitant because NQ and ES were showing that rejection, especially NQ. It wanted to go lower there. Wow, that's intense. Hopefully everyone was okay. That's what I mean, guys. It's so difficult now with this guy speaking because he can just fuck it up. You can see a great setup. He just tweeted again. Ceasefire expires Wednesday evening. 10:54. Will not open Strait of Hormuz until deal signed. Yeah, it looks like we're wanting to go lower here now. Jeez, it's one of those days where it's just, yeah, it's not the best price action in all honesty. And now you can see how we're just, let's look at the 7 hour to see if we can get that. Yeah, you can see we got that manipulation on the 7 hour now. That SMT right here. Now we want to see how we can trade against it, right? We most likely wait for the next candle, right? Clearly this candle's already expanded and it's done its job, so let's just wait and see what the next candle does. Let's remove that for now. But fucking crazy, guys, huh? That was nuts. That was nuts. Again, Vance will leave for Pakistan later on Monday. Buddy, this guy's crazy. Wow. Yeah, let's start seeing these closures, guys. Let's see how we close within this 30-minute candle, and then how we open up. This guy actually threw up.
Crazy morning. V3 is up now. I'm showing the live results.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the news that comes out every minute here. It's a little delayed. I don't pay for the premium one, but yeah, it's nuts, guys. It's crazy how this whole war, bro, just the way it manipulates these charts is nuts, guys, nuts. Again, I'm pretty sure someone would have taken these shorts. Again, that's just not me. Who would have known that a manipulation would have happened, right? That news that would have given that expansion lower. But again, we have the manipulation here, right? We have the manipulation, so we want to see how that what it does. If it's failing to manipulate and we continue going lower, or are we manipulating? Because now with the on the hourly, you can see how we're getting that that change in the state of delivery here on NQ. ES and YM are still holding up its range. ES is the only one that was able to close back below. Oh, something in my nose. Okay, let's just see how we react now. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, now we're gonna have to wait and see, because this is now a new hourly candle. Again, we are still creating all these. Well, we don't. We have a. Well, actually, we don't have a failure swing. Oh, we have relative equal lows here. Just give me a second, guys. All right, my bad, guys. All right, so let's. I noticed that you guys can't see why I'm here. Oops, my bad. So let's see how we react on this hourly candle now. Again, if price wanted to go lower, we would need to see a strength switch here, right? Some type of manipulation, right? At the end of the day, we haven't even formed a gap within this reversal, right? Which makes it even difficult to try to, because like the way I would want to trade a continuation is through gaps, right? Again, now look, you can see how we're just tapping into that low again. We have another SMT here. So let's see how we can react off this low here, knowing that we were able to take out a relevant low, right? Right, if we form this nice down close candle, then we have a nice change in the state of delivery, closing above this down close candle, but also including the gap here. We can definitely try to anticipate that price is willing to go higher. But again, we want to, now with this guy tweeting, it makes everything so much more difficult. So yeah, it's just waiting. While we wait, I'm just gonna start doing my rice for my breakfast, guys. Just give me a second. All right. Holy shit, NQ's just dropping, man. It's just dropping, bro. I guess it's reacting bad off that that news that we got. Damn, we're heading back to that relevant low here. That swing that we opened up with at the daily open here. Crazy, just fucking nuts. Again, I would not be taking this short, and honestly, with my I don't care, right? I don't care. This was just based off of news, fundamental news that Trump posted. So I guess you can just say that was just luck, right? Because this was just luck, right? Because with the criteria, leaving all these failure swings, not seeing a swing point being taken before going lower, no. Again, I didn't mention about the closure below the gap here, right? Which we still didn't get, and then you see this candle just continue going lower here, right? Look at why I'm still holding up. ES is not too bad, but again, I still feel like we can continue going lower, especially if we close back within this range. Yeah, that's nasty, man. Nasty, nasty.
There is a truly spiritual, alchemical shift that occurs when you start pursuing physical beauty for the sake of reflecting your inner beliefs and values.
I think you're beautiful.
I wanted to see who's on. Shit. My bad, guys. Just trying to put something on while we wait. In all honesty, I don't know if you guys play sports. I love playing tennis, man. Tennis has been my thing, yo. Let's go to.
Chatted with my buddy Boris Becker earlier this morning, and I asked him what he thought about this match. And they were honoring former champions on court yesterday. He just tipped it to Caboli. with the
Oh,
weather
beautiful.
conditions being a little
We got Shelton playing right now. Let's go. Nice. All right, see how we're getting that reaction, guys, on NQ? Looking like we're trying to close back within that range right now, as you can see. So we have a nice two-stage as well here. So if we can get a good closure on this candle here, that would be really nice to see here. Trying to close back above the gap here on YM specifically. Seeing this right here, if we get this, we can do that, and then target the highs here. Let me see. Does my stream show that? No, it does not. Sorry. Gotta make sure that I keep that on the edge here for you guys. You can see the reaction. See how we're getting that aggressive push higher? Let's see if we can get the closure now for that. Yeah, you can see how we're just, it's not really showing the strength here, guys. Again, we're not even getting a strength switch where one of them's taking a high and then the weakest one will get that change in the state. That's the only way I'll engage, and you can see that we're not showing that, right? Well, we do have that here, actually, now that I'm looking at it. We do have a strength switch here, but I would rather see a gap being formed, right, to trade against it. And that's within the next 15 minutes, that 30-minute gap here, that we can maybe possibly try to trade towards this relevant low and to the previous day's low, if it's willing to go lower, right? But we'll see. We'll just wait, guys. We're just here waiting. We haven't engaged anything yet. There has been none of it's like, we just gotta wait till things realign. Until then, I'm watching some tennis, yo. Nice. Gotta make a little video, guys. Come on now. Oh, nice drop shot. Nice drop shot. Oh, he did. Oh, it was out. Fuck. I was like, what a shitty drop shot. All right, nothing else, guys. We're just waiting. Nothing to engage here. I might end this at 11:30 if there's nothing to really talk about. Again, we're just waiting, guys. There's really nothing much to say. Beautiful serve, man. Nice. Nice, man. Let's go, Shelton. You can see how we're getting a nice reaction off that. See how we're closing back within this range, guys, off this relevant low. right here. Let me just mark this. Let me just fade this so we can get a better idea. See how we're closing back within the range here, right? We'll even put this one right here. So this is an ideal thing that you want to see here, right? Because we have that SMT here, that two-stage SMT, right? And now we want to see how we can close back above the range. See how we're getting that nice closure above? It would be ideal to see it close back above the gap here. But very good reaction here. Very good reaction. Still 10 minutes left for the new 30-minute candle, right? I'd personally like to see it being faded, especially for the strongest one, because if there's no gap, then the next draw would be the high. But again, we're just gonna have to wait and see here. See how this is a consolidation? I would wait for the closure and then a open, low, high, close type of scenario, right? Like how I did mention this on another trade I took last week, something like this, waiting for that consolidation, because we consolidate here. See how we just move, we didn't really do much, and now closing this, we have to be precautious because this can be just a fake out to go lower, right? So you want to see a down close candle form above this to then have a nice closure back above it for us to get that conviction for us to continue going higher. Let me just move this to the side here so you guys can see it. I know my camera's blocking it. Right, because then with this high here, there could be possibly a strength switch right here, right, for then YM to go lower if it's disrespecting these if it's not willing to continue closing above these down close candles, right? But I'd rather wait for the 30-minute open to engage in that, because then we have a gap to trade into, to trade against away. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that engagement. You know what? We just might enter this. Oh, it just opened up actually, so shit. We're gonna have to wait to see how this closes. Wow, very volatile. What just happened now? Yeah, nothing really. Yeah, nothing mentioned. Nothing was mentioned. See, now we have an S&T at these highs here. Oh, actually, no, we don't. We don't, sorry. I'm looking at this high right here. But this high here, this is here for NQ. Yeah, let's wait for this closure, because we do have a two-stage as well. So I would anticipate that the next 30-minute would just continue expanding higher. Right, we wouldn't really want to see another manipulation lower, since we already did the damage specifically for NQ. Let's see, we'll put it right here. You know what? I think we're gonna take it.
Order filled.
I didn't mean to have that low, but okay. Oh, why is it showing 3 and I only took, oh, I meant, oh, I didn't mean to take, oh, it was supposed to be 3, not 4, shit. Okay, that was my fault there. Okay, it's okay. We'll just take the trade. We're already in it, so it's not a problem here. Realistically, I'm only going to take this on my funded, just because I can't trade YM on my personal at the moment. I didn't buy the C-bot for it. Overall, good closure here, guys. Very good. It's exactly what we've been waiting for. So, personally, I'm gonna limit sell at this specific high right here, right, and everything else can just be extra. Yeah, everything else will be extra here. We have the previous day's high right here as well. So that could just be a rider just for us to continue going higher if it's willing to. Again, YM is still need to catch up, right? At the end of the day, if it's showing us that we're willing to continue higher, then it should be good. There is no SMT to neglect this this reversal to continue going lower. So this is why I'm bullish, because we do have all this liquidity to the upside, right? So we've done the damage at the end, at the bottom, right? Now we can start seeing the move higher here, right? To take out the liquidity, to take all these sellers that are still in the trade, right? So yeah, let's just wait and see, guys. At the end of the day, we're already in it, so let's just see how we react. Sorry, this was right here. Stop loss is right here. Here, let me just move this here. So I'm going to put 2R TP right here for you guys. See how now we're neglecting that. We're fading this gap that it was about to form, which is a good thing, because once we can fail to neglect the potential gap, then the only draw would be the relevant high, right? So we're just looking at this gap, right? Where we're looking for the closure, right? So we got about under 5 minutes left for this 30-minute to open. You can see how ES is. This is the 30-minute, guys. So just look at the 30-minute. See how we're trying to fail to not to create the gap, right? So I would realistically like to see YM take out the high, right? If it's willing to go lower from there, then that doesn't matter, right? This is why we secure profits at specific swing points. Not just random areas to where you personally choose. Boy, Shelton's killing it right now. Yeah, on the 5-minute it looks even better, I think. Just with the nice V shape, changing the state of delivery. Well, possible change in the state. We got 2 minutes left, but I would like to see us close above this, right? Because this is the true manipulation candle that expanded lower, and then we close back within it. So it would be really nice to see this close. So I would ideally like to see this closure. Oh shit. That was a horrible hit. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. That was nice. Here, I'm just gonna mark my entry right here. This was at 4, 5, 6, 8.
Watch this backhand here, deep down the line, and he is inside the service line in no time with a forehand inside out winner.
Yeah, I would really like to see YM closes. This would help give us that extra confluence that we're willing to go higher here, right? Then we can just mark this gap here also as well. Which is ideal that I could trade into. Not a problem, right? But again, with the change in the state and a gap also being formed, right, it's looking much better and better for the buy side. Wow, great expansion here. Holy. Good closure on that 5 minute. Looking like we're getting a lot of volatility here, guys. So gotta be very careful here. Again, stop loss is already inputted, so we're protected. There could be slippage, but again, Trump highly unlikely I'll extend ceasefire with Iran. Okay, we already got that. An Iranian delegation would travel to Pakistan on Tuesday. Okay. Okay, nothing much here, so we haven't really got anything yet. No problem. Still watching this, like I said. Okay, 30 minute just opened up. We do have a small minor gap here, so let's see how we react off that gap. But again, on this 30 minute here, yeah, we want to see how we react to this gap here. So let's just mark it on NQ and ES here. I'm going to just remove this order block, this line here, just to make it look cleaner. Let me just mark this line here. But realistically, for YM, it would be better. Oh shit! It would be ideal to see the high being taken out on YM, right? This is the 30 minute high here, right? On NQ, you can see it, the gap right there. So it's, I would ideally like to see YM take out that high, right? Like as a strength switch. So yeah, let's just wait and see, guys. Let me make sure this volume is actually a little lower because I don't want this shit to say copyright based off the volume here, so fuck. Okay, looking like we're just trying to form a swing point here. Again, we have this gap on the 5-minute as well, so it could still trade into it, right? At the end of the day, we want to see a swing point being formed and to continue higher. Once we start seeing order blocks being formed and change and the price being able to close above them, it just gives us a higher confluence that price is willing to continue going higher here. At the end of the day, on YM, we do have this nice change in the state here, right? So that's already the first check mark for us to continue going higher here. So yeah, just being patient, guys. We're just letting the trade process, right? At the end of the day, we do not manage our trade. I mean, we do manage it, but I mean, like, we do not manage the profit. Structure does. So at the end of the day, we have a stop loss. We have our areas of interest that we want to secure profits. So that's all we got to do. If not, then if we get stopped out, then we get an invalidation. Clearly, we have our stop loss at the SMT that was formed here. So that's what matters at the end of the day. We can't do much after that, right? We just let the market do its thing. Sure, I might end this right here, guys, just because I just don't want to, I need to cook right now, so I can't make, I'm going to be making noise on the stream, right? So I just don't want that to be engaged in. So we'll let this play out, guys. At the end of the day, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to my Insta, and I'll do a quick recap on it later. So yeah, other than that, guys, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys later.